Welcome back to the show, everyone. And on our show today, Sandra and I are glad to have Steve Ochoa, who's the founder of the nonprofit Gift. And also we have from the Assisting League, we have Kim Sparling, who's the Vice President of Resources and Development and the former president. And we're lucky enough to also have the president, who is Monica Stavos. I know I'm going to get that wrong. Stavo, who is the president of the Assisting League. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, we'll start off with Steve. So Steve is just a wonderful human being and
The best.
someone that we love to hang out with. And so you may have heard of Ochoa School or Ochoa Street. The Ochoa family just has such a rich history in Tucson. And I actually was reading a book that said that there were about 1,200 people in Tucson when his great-grandfather arrived in town. So tell us a little bit about your connection to Ochoa School, Steve.
Well, thank you, Sandra and Ray, for first of all having us all on. And I have, as a representative from the Ochoa family, I have the great joy, privilege, and honor to, I've been hooked up with the Assistance League of Tucson. And gosh, they have a wonderful program. It's called Operation School Bell. And how does that translate to Ochoa? Well, the great thing is that my family has the distinct honor of having an elementary school, and it's not called a community school, called Ochoa Community, that's going to be celebrating its 100th anniversary here in Tucson on May 12th. The interesting thing is the school was named for my great-grandfather, who, by all reports, the Arizona Daily Star named him the leading citizen of the 19th century. And so we're so proud and privileged to be the recipients of all of his good deeds and things. How he had the honor of this school being named after him, he in essence really gave of his own land. This is probably back in maybe 1880. And he had the school erected, and when they couldn't finish paying for it, he finished paying for the completion of the school and also educated students as his own dime. And for his magnanimous gesture to this community, they were so gracious to name this elementary school 100 years since its naming after him. So we are very blessed, and just as a family representative, our wonderful friends from the Assistance League have a wonderful, wonderful program we think would be absolutely special for any of the Title I schools here in Tucson.
With that being said, I think it's kind of hard to follow, don't you think? I have Kim and Monica here. We're like, okay, that was pretty impressive. Let's get started by asking you guys. Tell me a little, Monica or Kim, tell me a little bit about the Assistance League.
Well, we haven't been around as long as the Ochoa family, but we have been serving those in need in our community for more than 60 years. So we were founded by the wives of business leaders in Tucson at that time. And you may recognize some of those names: Holmes, Tuttle, Lovell, Drockman, Rothschild. So we have never stopped growing, evolving, and expanding our services to meet the current needs in this town.
Great.
In the last 30 years, for example, our flagship program, Operation School Bell, has grown by more than 1,000%.
Wow.
So we will be here for another 60 years and beyond, thanks to careful strategic planning and the enthusiasm of our more than 300 volunteers. So we are unique among nonprofits. We are volunteer-led, volunteer-staffed, and volunteer-managed. And our 9 philanthropic programs serve more than 13,000 people each year.
You're needed in this city. We appreciate all that you guys do for Assistant League of Tucson. Hope you guys can go to their website and check them out. We'll give you their website a little bit later. With that being said, I heard something called Operation School Bell. So Monica, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about what that's all about.
Sure. Our flagship program had started in 1994.
Wow.
So it started with just 334 children. And now we're going to be addressing over 4,000 kids starting the end of July.
Wow.
And so these are Title I schools. And right now we have 39 schools that we work with.
Do you want to explain to our listeners what Title I school, what that means?
Yeah, so Title I means that there are probably about 93% or more free or reduced lunch.
Okay.
And these are the children who are most in need.
Underserved community.
Yes.
And are these schools that require uniforms, or can you
Both.
speak? Okay, tell us a
Both.
little bit about that.
So it's almost 50-50. 2,000 of the children are street clothes schools, and we provide a Target voucher that
Wow.
on certain shopping days they could go to Target and spend $100 to get school clothes.
Amazing. That's good news.
The other 2,000, and it's like 20 schools and 20 schools that we currently have. The other 20, they have to wear a uniform, and so we stock these uniforms at our philanthropic center on 1307 North Alvernon Way. And it's like a store where they could go in, and if you want to dress like a girl, you go that way. If you want to dress like a boy, you go that way. And you get 3 pairs of bottoms, 3 tops, socks, underwear, shoes, a backpack, hoodie. So it's giving the opportunity for kids to show up to school
Feeling
and be
good.
yeah, exactly.
Feeling good. I'm saying it because I grew up in underserved, and I just keep going. I'm sorry.
Can you
I
imagine your
apologize.
first day of school and now you're dressed, you fit in with the other kids,
Yes.
you're and someone cares about you. I mean, the stories are just amazing.
We talked to one school rep, and she said, the thing that sets children apart the most is the shoes. If you have holes in your shoes, you're going to be teased, you're going to be bullied. So we give them new shoes. And we literally had a little boy, Jojo. He tried on his shoes, he got all done up, and we took a video of this. He literally was dancing and singing, running up and down where he tried on his shoe. He was so excited. So giving that kind of confidence
Yes.
makes you want to go back to school the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Make friends and learn.
Have shoes always been part of that, or was that kind of something that came from your interactions with the person who shared that with you?
Shoes have always been a part of the program, but every year we meet with all of our schools and we say,
Okay.
are we giving you what your children need? So, for example, we used to give jackets that had hoods. They were kind of like rain slickers. Well, those went really out of style. So, like, you knew you got dressed at Assistance League if you had one of those. So we started giving hoodies because every kid wears a hoodie. So, you want to make sure you give them something that they're in style, they look like everybody else, and that builds your confidence.
We don't want parents to have to decide rent, school clothes. I mean, sometimes it's that, or food or school clothes.
I'm so impressed with the things you're doing, and we got a whole nother segment we get to spend with those guys and talk a little bit more about the Assistant League and what they're doing. It's the Assistant League of Tucson. You're here with Monica Stavo, who is the president, and Kim Sparling, who is the vice president of resource development and former president of the Assistant League of Tucson. I'm going to keep saying that, Assistant League of Tucson. You guys can think about it and go on the website. It's altucson.org. You listen to the I Am Real Estate Show with Ray and Sandra. We'll be back with Monica, Kim, and Steve.